Travels with your hosts, Sean and Marianne Bond.
Well, hello, Parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of our Haunted Travels Live. I am your host, Sean Donnelly. I don't have my co-host tonight. I'm running this one solo, but I'm doing it with you guys, because you guys in a little bit are going to help me summon up the spirit of Lizzie Borden. Ooh. All right, folks. Let's just check and make sure things are working, because I'm not getting a good report on this end. Are you able to see me okay and hear me okay? If you could, please let me know in chat. Live Scream, Budget Butchcraft, love that. Live Scream. That's awesome. I'm going to have to change the intro to that. That's pretty cool. Flubbin' Epic, all right. H. Castro, PSPR. I saw T-Throng in the house. Joy Stewart. Kay Johnson. Francis Spirits and Kittens. Irish Whiskey 77. John is out there. The Haunted Explorers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, so PSPR, everything's looking okay. Looks spiffy. Alright, thank you, Andrew Kitchens. Mystic Days. Alright, thank you. So, my moderators that we have here for this evening, we got T-Throng, PSPR, and Andrew. If you guys would, down in the description of this video is a link to a form where people can submit their questions for Lizzie. And if you guys wouldn't mind copying that link into chat every once in a while, and those questions are starting to build up, which is awesome. And in a little bit here, wow, we got 16 people here. I'm in a very short bit. We're all going to kind of pool our imaginations together and summons in the spirit of Lizzie Borden. Who's ready to do that? Who's ready for her to show up live right here in Panic D Video Studios? Do you think we can make it happen? Do you think we could get her here? That'd be kind of awesome, wouldn't it? Have her sitting right here, and I can ask her your questions. That's what the point is tonight. MIM, how are you doing? Let's see. Snow Buddy, Mystic Days, Big T Coins. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome, everybody. Hey, we got some great people in the house. We just hit 20 watching, 12 thumbs up. Don't forget to smash that like button. But right now, normally we ask you in the beginning of our live streams, go ahead and share this out on your social media. See if we could get some more people in here to the party. That would be awesome. Before we bring Lizzie on, we're going to donate all those thumbs up to Lizzie Borden. Should we? Or should we? Maybe we should. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Can I get Lizzie a fan and some lipstick? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. The thumbnail, she looks a little pale. Well, she's been gone for a while. So that kind of explains that a little bit. But, alrighty. 24 watching, 15 thumbs up. Come on, we could do more thumbs up for Lizzie. Smash my thumb. Go ahead. You're allowed. I'll let you. Alright, thank you, Tracy. Tracy T-Throng just submitted a link, guys. If you haven't submitted your questions that you want me to ask Lizzie once we get her here, go ahead and click on that link. It is a Google form, and you can fill it out, put your questions in, and we'll just go right down through the list and ask her questions when we get her here. All right, great stuff. HSFL Paranormal tweeted it out. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know there's other live streams going on like right now at the same time. That happens. We're all part of this great YouTube community, and it's hard to kind of time things where you can't, but you know what? It happens. That's the great part of replay. So, hopefully people could come back and watch this and see what we did to get Lizzie here. Are you guys about ready? Are you guys about ready to get Lizzie Borden here in the set? What do you think? If you're ready, let me know in chat. Just say ready if you're ready, and we'll go ahead and give it a shot. Everyone's saying hi to each other. That's great. Snow Buddy on your Twitter. Awesome. $31 watching. Wow. 31 watching at 17 thumbs up. Come on, guys. Smash the thumb. All right. We're getting ready. Thank you for that delay. All right. We're all ready. Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to use a semi technique to kind of like hypnotize you guys. All right, it's going to be a technique where we're going to take all of our imaginations and all of our brain power and fuse it together, and we're going to bring Lizzie right here. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. I'm not a hypnotist, but I've seen this done several times, and it's actually kind of cool. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you everybody just to relax. Just take a second, breathe. Close your eyes, breathe, and clear out your mind. A blank screen in your mind, just pitch black. I want you to imagine just a pitch black. I want you to listen to the sound of those crickets. You should hear the crickets out there. It's real calm, real peaceful. And what I'm going to do is in your mind is I'm going to place some imagery, and I want you to think about this. What I am saying, I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. Listen, we're going to go back to the year 1906. We're specifically picking that year because this is the year after Emma and Lizzie kind of parted ways. So that gives us a long time frame where we're going to ask our questions. So think back to the year 1906. You could smell the air. It's nice and crisp. It's night out. The streets are cobblestone. You're sitting there and you could hear horses on that cobblestone as the buggies pass by. You could smell the smell of the oil burning in the lamps. Can you envision a street on Fall River, Massachusetts, late at night? There's a mist coming up the street. Close your eyes and just envision it. There's a couple of people out there I know that's not getting there. Just kind of relax, envision it. Think real hard. Here we go. So open your eyes and holy cow!
Who are you? Where am I?
Ms. Borden,
Yes.
I presume.
Yes.
Welcome to the studio of Panic D Videos. This is what's called a YouTube show.
A what?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, actually, if you look right there, you see you're on camera.
That's me. How did you do that?
Well, I don't want to freak you out any much further, but you see all these people right here? They're watching you too. They're watching that.
Those words are people?
Those words are people.
Really? Are you sure you're quite sane?
Yes.
You're
sure?
sure?
Do I call you by Ms. Borden, Lisbeth, Lizzie? What would you like to go by?
Well, I do say that I don't really know you quite so well, so it should be proper that you would call me Ms. Borden.
Well, I will do that. I am Mr. Donnelly, by the way.
Well, it is nice to meet you,
It's nice to
Mr.
meet you,
Donnelly.
too. Thank you for joining us.
Interesting.
Are you okay?
Interesting place you have here.
We did it, folks.
Do you see other people? Are you really sure you're all right?
They're right here. Can you read what's going on? These
I
people
can
right
read.
here. These people right here are talking to you.
They're talking to me.
But they're talking through what's called chat.
Chat.
Yeah, so they're on a computer. This is a computer, okay? So they're on a computer, or I'm not even going to tell you what a cell phone is. That'll just blow your mind. But they're on a computer, and they're leaving us messages, and we get to see them right here as they're talking. So these people are from all over the world.
So did they drop these calling cards off earlier?
Yeah, they did before I started here. Yeah. So all of us kind of pulled together, and we summoned you to come here.
You summoned me.
Yes.
Is that how I got here?
Yes. So you know a little bit about seances and things like that nature, don't you?
Yes.
A little bit of that stuff?
Yes.
It's kind of like along those lines. That's what we did.
Okay. That makes much more sense to me now.
Okay?
Yes, okay.
So I'm gonna do something that's gonna blow your mind a little
Am I
bit
dead?
more. Well, you're here in spirit. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Watch this. This is going to be.
So am I
kinda
sitting right
interesting.
home in Maplecroft?
No, you're not in Maplecroft. You're in Northeast Ohio.
Ohio, you say?
Ohio.
That is quite a distance.
Kind of far away from Maplecroft.
Not quite as far as, Chicago.
Well, about halfway.
I do like Chicago.
Well, we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? But watch this. I'm going to show you something that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Everybody who's in chat watching right now, could you tell us where you're from? Tell Miss Borden where you're from. And they're going to come on here and tell us what city that they're from.
Really?
Yeah. Just
Real
watch.
time?
Real time. Well, there's a little delay. There's a little bit of a delay.
Are there little people coming to the door bringing us the calling notes?
Yes. So Good Times Outdoors is asking a question to please don't kill me.
Now, why would I ever do such a thing?
So look, we have Francis Spirits and Kittens from Florida.
Florida?
Yes, we have Snow Bunny from Canada. Good Times Outdoors is from Ohio. Hell Kittens from right here in Ohio. Big T Coins is from Pennsylvania. John is out there from Philadelphia.
And all of these people are converging here to, to talk to
Budget
me.
Butchcraft from Indianapolis. Paranormal Mama from Kentucky. Mr. Moore from United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom?
Mystic Maze from Southwest Kentucky. St. Louis.
Well,
Maryland,
this is amazing.
Northeast Maryland, North Carolina,
I
California,
must say that this
Irish
is
whiskeys from California,
unheard of.
Snow bunnies from Montreal,
so many
Canada.
people all in one place at one time from so many different areas
They're
of the world.
all right now. You see that light up there? When
I
you
do.
talk, well, I want you to talk to that light. It's kind of hard to
Talk
kind of
to
get
the
used
light.
to. Just talk to that little light up there. That
Hello,
glowing
light.
That little glowing light out there is these people watching, because that's what they're seeing right there.
My.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Do you need a
Are you
couple? Do you need a couple more minutes?
Are
to
you
get
like
used
a
to
wizard
this?
or something?
Yeah, you could say I'm a wizard of sorts.
Just astonishing.
It's quite exciting, isn't it?
It is. I just never imagined such a thing could happen. And I've had a lot of odd things happen in my life.
So let me ask you a question, Ms. Borden. What year do you believe it is right now? What year?
Why, it's 1906. What year do you think it is?
Well, I don't want to blow your mind anymore. We don't want to lose you. We don't want you to leave. I know this takes a lot of energy to be here. It is the year 2018.
2018,
Yes.
you say?
Yes. That's 112 years away from what you think it is.
You're insane. I do believe you need to be locked up. Am I perfectly safe here? I'm really 112 years of...
You're safe here. They're worried about whether I'm safe here.
Why would they be worried about that?
I don't know.
Have they heard those odd rumors about me?
We're going to be talking about those odd rumors. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you some questions about those. Because all these people out here and all the people out in the world for years have been wondering certain things about what happened in your past. Are you okay with talking about that kind of stuff?
So long as you don't ask me the wrong questions.
I'll be careful to word them correctly.
Then it is all right. I think I will play along with your funness.
So what was the last thing that you remember before you appeared here? What were you doing? Where were you at?
I was getting ready to go out for the evening. For a ride. We don't go out much in the daytime. People don't seem to like me very much in Fall River anymore. I had read a little while during the day and played outside for a while, walking around my gardens. But, yes, I was going to go out for a little evening ride.
So you mostly go out at nighttime?
Yes, it's... People, they're just mean to me in town. I don't know why. You know, I was proven innocent, of course. But they still treat me as if I really killed my father. Such an absurd thing to think. They close their doors on me when I try to go shopping, and just everybody whispers.
Do you spend a lot of time shopping in Fall River?
Not quite so often anymore. I like to go to New York and, Washington, Chicago, places like that. They're much nicer there.
So you do a lot of traveling?
I do.
You do?
I enjoy traveling quite a bit. New York is quite one of my favorites.
So is your life a lot different now than what it was when your father and mother were alive?
Well, my mother died when I was quite small, so I don't quite remember too much about the livings then. Unless, of course, you're talking about that Abby woman who is not my mother.
I apologize. I mean your father and stepmother.
Yes, my life is quite different now. Quite different. Especially now that Emma's gone as well. I'm quite alone.
Would you mind talking about that here in a little bit? About Emma and why she's not with you anymore?
Well, you can try to talk to me about it, but I don't really know. She won't talk to me. Such a sad thing. We were always so close.
So would you say that your life is better now than it was when your stepmother was alive?
Well, there are many things that are much better now. The whole indoor plumbing and electricity is quite exciting, and I like it a lot. However, I do miss my father, and of course my sister Emma. I do wish that Emma would come back.
Well, maybe we should talk about that now. What do you think? Can you tell us why you guys aren't getting along now? What happened?
I can't say exactly.
Well, what led up to her leaving?
Well, I don't really understand why she left, and just normal things were happening. I was going out on my trips, and I was headed to New York, and I had some friends in from New York and party and have the house, and I just don't know. She just seemed angry about it. She was going to visit the Reverend quite a bit, and then all of a sudden she just packed her bags and went off and hasn't spoken to me since.
So, there's been a lot of things written about you. I mean, it's been 112 years. Okay.
Oh, still?
Still. Definitely. There's movies made about you.
Movies?
Documentaries.
What is a movie?
And there's this channel on YouTube, okay, called Panic D Videos that have been putting out all kinds of videos about you and your family.
What is this video thing you're speaking of?
Well, I'll
What is
have
a
to show
video?
you after the stream's over. I'll have to show you some of these videos. But basically what you're looking at right there is a video. This is being recorded and sent out. That's called video. Those are moving pictures. They move, and they can actually hear us talking.
So it's like going to one of the plays in New York without having to go to New York.
Right. Sitting in your home, you can actually sit and watch it.
That is outrageous. I would love that. Can you get me one of these moving pictures?
Well, yes, I will set you up with them before we send you back.
I think that's fantastic.
Okay, but it seems like we're dancing around the question here.
Dancing around what question, should you say?
What happened? What led up to Emma finally saying, I'm done, I'm leaving? That's what has been written, that she got upset, that something was going on, something was happening around you and around Fall River, and she was tired of it, and she left.
She did not like my friends. We'll put it that way. She did not like my friends. But I just don't know why she threw away our entire lives just because she didn't like my friends. It is something that I am quite still upset with her about, but I would love to see my Emma again.
Could have been anything like you mentioned about people teasing you and people bringing up the case and that kind of stuff. Was
sure.
that a little too much for her, or did she want to?
I'm sure that did hold some, credence to her leaving. She was always much more quiet. She was much more like Father. Wanted to be, behind the scenes, quiet, just doing what she had to do, not spending too much money. She didn't like all the extra money I spent either. But I said, we have it, why not spend it?
She doesn't like spending money like you do. You like spending money, don't you?
I like to have nice things.
Okay. So, our fine people here that are watching, and I told you this is called chat, okay?
Right, the calling cards.
The calling cards, okay? They are able to ask you questions, all right? And they keep submitting, see right here where it says teeth wrong? She keeps submitting this, what's called a link, okay?
A link.
So everybody out there in chat, if you have a question for Lizzie, go ahead and click that link, and that opens up a form. You could put in your question, and they're starting to pop up right here now. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions that they're asking, and you can answer them.
So they're not your questions.
No, but I might have some that pop up from time to time as you're talking. Is that okay?
All right.
Okay. One question that's came up a couple times already by Richard Larison and Andrew Kitchen that asked this question. What is your favorite color?
Well, my favorite color is blue. I do like my blue pansy pin, and so forth. And I do have a lot of blue dresses, which, by the way, was quite a fiasco as well. But yes, I do quite like blue. Actually, the blue that you would find it like maybe in your wrist underneath the skin before blood is exposed.
So you're talking about the blue color of blood before it's oxidized? That's kind of like...
Yes, I think that is my favorite.
Okay. So when you go to the dressmaker, do you say, I wanted this color?
Well, usually they have fabrics lying around, and I just go ahead and say, I'll take one dress in that one, and I'll take that one as well, and I would like it in this bodice cut and so
See,
forth.
we call that a government shopper. My wife does the same thing. It's like, why you buy one for one price where you can buy two twice as much? That's how you do it? You just take a couple.
Well, why would you want to go back to the store again? Besides, if they have lovely different types of fabric, why would you not want to try a little of each?
Exactly. So, what is the actual name of that blue? Is it called blood blue? Or do they have different names for it?
There's different names, of course. But dark blue and a grayish blue, I suppose.
So you mentioned...
It helps bring out my gray eyes as well. Makes them a little bluer.
Your eyes are brown, but okay.
No, according to my passport documentation, they are gray. Can't you see?
Okay, well, they're brown now. Look.
What happened to my eyes?
I don't... Maybe when we brought you here, they turned brown. I don't know. Anyways, you mentioned a dress.
Yes.
There was some controversy over a dress. Do you mind if I ask you about that?
Oh, that thing. Tread lightly, sir.
Tread lightly. Could I hold on to your device over there, or if you
My
don't mind?
fan?
No, the one that you set on the floor.
You mean this?
Yeah. Let me just hold on to that. Yeah, let me hold on to that. Okay, thank you. All right, so we need to ask about.
Bring me
this
here and
dress.
steal my things.
I'll give it back before I send you back. Okay. You were seen burning a dress. Is that correct? Am I correct?
That is correct.
All right. So the question that I have is,
Some friend.
why were you burning the dress? Why did you burn the dress? Because you could have gave it to.
It had paint on it. It was no
Well,
good.
You could have gave it to Bridget. You could have donated it to charity. You could have had Bridget clean
Who's
it.
going to want to have a dress with paint on it? I certainly didn't. Why would someone else want anything that was damaged like that?
Was it really paint?
But of course it was paint. There was a testimony at my trial where they did indicate that yes, I did, brush up against the house when it was being painted. It was paint.
I just don't understand why you just didn't donate it. Why burn it? Why damage it and get rid of all of the remnants of that dress?
It was unusable.
Yeah, but did you do that often? Or was that the only one that you just... I don't understand that. There were people out there less fortunate than you that you could have... They would have loved to have a dress that had paint on it. They don't care.
I somewhat disagree. I don't think that anyone would want anything that with paint in it just totally unusable, sir.
Okay, let's get to some of these other questions.
Can't believe that woman. She did this. It's her fault. Emma would never have said anything. That Alice, I can't believe I was her friend all those years.
Well, let me try to calm you down a little bit. Do you have any pets? Can you tell us about your pets?
I do have a couple of little dogs. I quite enjoy them. They're quite fun. They're lovable and kind, and they don't say mean things about me. I like them much more than people. I think when I die, I'm going to donate money to some animal leagues.
Well, I hate to tell you, but you're already dead. But,
You told me I was not dead.
well, in our time you are. And you did donate money to charity, so we thank you for
So
that.
people like me now.
Well, these people love you. These people that are here watching, they love you. There's some out there that okay, I want to be honest with you. I'm going to put it all on the table. I have your device over here, so I'm going to say it. There are a lot of people that think that you did it, that you killed your father and your stepmother. There are a lot of people that think that.
Still, to this day, all
Still
of these
to this
years
day.
later.
Yeah, and some of the questions that we're getting, they're asking that. And we'll get to that. But so in your time, 1906, you haven't passed away yet. Okay, so I'll rephrase
Quite
this
right.
question from Snow Buddy. What was the last thing that you had for dinner
The last thing that I had for
that
dinner.
you can remember? Yes.
Well, I did have some Johnny cakes again, of course, and I had some chicken. I do quite enjoy my chicken now. And of course, we use them from the Swansea farm. Johnny cakes and chicken.
Johnny cakes and chicken. Okay. So, folks, if you have any questions for Lizzie, please drop them in that form. Tracy's been posting out the link. So those of you joining us later, we have Ms. Borden with us.
Hello!
And you can
Hello, white light in the corner.
You can ask her any question by going to that form, and they're showing up right here. And we can ask your question. So here's another one from John is out there. Okay.
John is where out there.
Well, it's a question. That's the name of his calling card.
He doesn't know where out there he's from? John is out where?
Well, your calling card, you put Maplecroft.
Yes, he
His
puts
calling
out
card,
there.
he put John is out there. Yeah, okay.
Out there.
Okay.
So odd.
All right, I lost the question. Okay, what are your true feelings about Nance O'Neill?
I quite adore Nance.
Well, there are those that believe, and there's actually, remember these movies I was telling you about?
Yes.
There's a movie coming out next month, actually, that kind of depicts this, says that maybe you had a romantic relationship with Nance.
Well, that seems quite inappropriate to discuss with someone, especially someone I've just met.
Okay, so you're not denying it, you just don't want to talk about it.
I'm saying such talk is inappropriate.
Such talk is inappropriate. Okay.
Such talk is quite... Oh my. What would the people say?
So a lot of people are asking why you actually killed your father and stepmother. That's a lot of the questions. We got it from several people. Why did you do it? Why did you kill your family? Why did you kill your father or your stepmother? I told you, a lot of people believe that you did it. Even though you were acquitted and went through a trial and all that other stuff, a lot of people still think you did it. So let me you're going to say, I didn't do it, all that stuff.
That's quite right.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think so many people think that you did do it?
Why do I think so many people think that I did it? I would assume that it would be probably just because I was the only one home.
That's exactly right. You were the only one home. You burned that dress. That was evidence. Here's another question.
Perhaps that might not
you.
have been the most wise decision at the time, but it was old and it was ruined.
Well, here's another question I have. Well, I don't have. It was asked by Richard Larison. When your father came home that day,
yes,
the door was locked.
That fateful day.
And Bridget testified that she saw you on the steps giggling because the door was locked. Now, if that's true, you would have seen that your stepmother was in that room. Explain that. That's one of the reasons why people think that you did it. Because you were up there on top of the steps, you could have looked over and saw your stepmother in there. If you didn't do it, you knew it happened.
I saw nothing, and I was not on the stairs. They kept on taking my words and twisting them, and
this was during the trial
the
that she testified. Are you saying that that's not true?
I'm saying that she was confused.
She's a
simple-minded woman. She's just simply a maid.
Okay.
She was confused, like I was confused during my preliminary
Thank you, Tracy.
testimony.
I am trying to be careful here, but I have the thing over here.
I was under duress. They gave me medication. I didn't quite know what I was talking about, and I did mention in my preliminaries that yes, I was on the stairs at one point, but I
didn't
remember,
mean to upset you.
but
There's
I
some
remember
water
I
right
was
there.
I remember I was in the kitchen. It was not. I was downstairs. I was not up on the landing. I was not upstairs. I was not on the staircase. It wasn't that day. She had to be confused with another day.
So you're saying your father was locked out another day, and you were laughing because she was locked out, or he
That
was
is
locked
quite
out.
possible.
Okay. So you just brought something up that during your trial, okay, you were medicated pretty heavy.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, Dr. Bowen thought it would be best. He thought I had a traumatic day, and he thought that it would be best if I was able to calm down a bit.
And did it help?
I would say yes and no.
Well, my personal opinion is that your testimony to the grand jury and to your main trial and everything, you kept changing your story. Is it because of that medication?
Yes, I was in a fog, though, and it was just so hard for me to remember the questions that they were asked. They asked me so many questions, and I just couldn't remember what I had said from one moment to the next. And so then they twisted that to make it seem like I was lying and not telling the truth.
So since so many people actually think that you did it, and you're saying it wasn't you.
It was not me. I did no such thing. Why would I want to kill Father?
All right, we're in agreement.
I love Father.
But we're in agreement that your father and stepmother were killed. We agree on that, correct?
Yes.
It wasn't an accident. Somebody actually did the deed. Do we agree?
An accident, you say?
Jeez, that's bad. So if you didn't do it,
Yes.
who do you think that did it?
I do have a thought, but I shall not say it.
Oh, Miss Borden, please. We have brought you into the future. We are here on this live stream. These people want to know. Could you please just share with us?
I shall not say, but I do have an idea of who I do think it would been, and someday when they finally come out with this real true killer, I will walk down the streets of Fall River and hold my head high and say, "See, I told you I did not do this."
Well, let me
And
tell you.
everyone will look at me differently and they will all be sorry.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. At this time, it hasn't came out. It's still unsolved.
Still,
So maybe later you can share with us who you think. Maybe. I can ask you that again later. Maybe.
we'll
Possibly.
see.
Okay.
Possibly.
All right.
Possibly.
So we got a question that just came in from Snow Bunny. It's actually kind of an interesting.
Snow Bunny.
Snow Bunny. That's their calling card. Snow Bunny.
It reminds me of the puppy dogs. Snow Bunny, probably quite soft and... Snow Bunny.
What do you think about the little nursery rhyme that the kids sing out in front of your house? What is your thoughts on that? Now, I'll tell you my thoughts. If it was me and I was in your situation, I would freak them kids out and go out and start singing with them.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
But right now, what is your thoughts when that happens? When you hear that, you wake up in the morning, you're sitting on the porch, you're reading your paper, and you start hearing that. Or the kids throwing stones or eggs or something at your
You know, I
windows.
did just call the police about that. Not recent.
We know you did. We know you did. But how do you feel personally about that kind of stuff?
Well, I cringe inside because clearly everyone knows that I was acquitted. However, all of these people still, they just torment me. It's just wrong. They shouldn't be doing such things. And besides, everything in that little ditty is incorrect.
Yeah, we know.
I didn't do it. And certainly, according to the medical examiners, those numbers of counts are wrong as well.
Okay. So that's your answer. But how does it make you feel? Does
It makes me
you,
feel
Does it hurt
angry.
your feelings, or does it make you angry?
It makes
You're
me
saying it makes you
angry. I don't like it much. And it's just...
Does it make you sad?
It makes me sad that so many people just won't let it go.
Is that kind of stuff what maybe made Emma leave?
Oh, she definitely was always bothered by it. I'm sure it played into her decision.
So along the same lines, how do you feel about the church? I mean, you spent a lot of time and donated a lot of your efforts and everything
School
to the
teacher at the
church.
church.
Yeah, and now they don't even want to talk to you, basically. Do you find that to be fair, or do you find that to be judgmental, or do you really don't care because you have all kinds of money and do whatever you want to do?
I did enjoy going to the church. I don't quite enjoy it much anymore, and so I've stopped going. I would like to be able to go back, but everyone is so mean there. They're supposed to be nice Christian people, but what happens? They all get up and move to a different pew if I come in, and they give me dirty looks, and they're supposed to be forgiving, and they're just not. I wish things were different.
So a lot of these questions that we're getting are along the lines of you did it, and you're saying
I
that
did
you didn't
not
do
do
it.
such a
Okay,
thing.
Okay. So I'm going to have to come up and ask you some questions. First of all, I saw you had a little trinket on your arm.
Yes.
Can you show it to our guests out there?
Show it to the guests.
Kind of explain what is that little trinket that you have carrying with you?
Well, I got this cute little hatchet made because, of course, everybody thinks that I used one. So I just a little remembrance, And then, of course, there's a little bit of brick dust from, of course, where my father was killed. Remembrances, so that I don't forget.
Okay, so I'm looking in the chat. It says it looks like you're maybe protecting somebody. I don't know. Snow Bunny saying, "Oh Lord, she's wearing weapons."
It's just jewelry.
Okay, so Christina Kitchens is saying, "You could tell us, blink once for guilty, blink more than that if you're not guilty." Wait, what does it say? Blink once for not guilty, blink more than once to say you're guilty.
I did not kill my father.
All right, folks, if you have more questions for Lizzie, please, one of our moderators, please drop that link. We have new people coming in here. You can ask questions for Lizzie. If they don't get that link dropped, the link is down in the description. You can open up a Google form, ask that question, and they're popping up right here. I want to talk a little bit about the World's Fair.
It was quite an event.
Have you heard of a man called H.H. Holmes? It was in all the newspapers.
I have heard of him, but I have not met him.
You didn't hear about, he was really close to where you were there at the fair.
Quite disturbing. Can you only imagine if I would have gotten off the train and gone to his hotel?
I could imagine if you two got together. Yeah, that would be quite interesting.
What is that supposed to mean?
No, I'm just saying that would be kind of an interesting conversation. But you said you've done some other traveling too. Have you gone abroad? Have you gone to Europe?
I went abroad before Father died, of course. Since I've only been, around this country.
What year was it that you traveled? You said it was before your father passed.
1890.
1890. Okay. Have you heard of the Jack the Ripper crimes over in Europe?
I did hear of such things.
Okay.
Quite disturbing. So many pieces of evil that happen.
Okay.
And then for people to think that I could be so evil like they.
Well, you know that there's some that believe that H.H. Holmes and Jack the Ripper was the same person.
Really?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
There's a theory out there about that.
That is quite interesting.
So when you traveled to the World's Fair, you went with some friends.
I did.
Is that correct? And I guess you won tickets, but you gave them up. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
There were some newspaper things, and I think people were trying to be funny, and they signed me up, I think, to try to get me out of Fall River. And so, I had plenty of money. I didn't need to win tickets. So I said, don't give them to me. Give them to someone else. And I just purchased my own tickets. I got my own fare and went on my own. You seem to be reading quite a bit.
Well, I'm reading the questions that are coming in. I'm sorry.
Did you like my answer?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Just so you liked it.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to disappoint my inquisitor.
All right. So we did a video on Panic D Videos about your meatloaf recipe.
You made my meatloaf?
Yes, we did. Yes,
Did
we
you like my meatloaf?
Yeah, but the question comes up is, did you like rare meatloaf?
No, I like things cooked well. But I
You
definitely...
guys boiled a lot of stuff
yes,
back then.
yes, we definitely needed
Why did
to
you
make
do that? Why did you boil it and not just bake it?
Well, that whole temperature thing is not quite accurate. You know, we need to make sure that it gets cooked well. And it was just always easy to boil.
Okay. If you don't mind, we got to get back to the case because people are here now because they're intrigued about the case. Now, I was asking you some questions and you were getting a little bit upset. So, could you just keep calm if we talk about it some more? You can't get hurt here. You're here in spirit. Okay? So, just kind of... Because you're making me a little nervous, to be honest with you.
I make you nervous.
All right, so a question came up from one of our big supporters on our channel, and I have to ask this question, and we're going to go back to this. Don't get mad at me, but I got to ask this question. Okay? Do you think that your uncle was the one who actually did the deed?
Uncle John.
Yes.
No. I don't think it was Uncle John.
Well, there are those who believe that you put your uncle up to it.
Why would I do such a thing?
Well, come on. Let's just
father.
call it what it is. You and Emma benefited from the murders, okay?
True.
You received the money, right? Why did Uncle
Eventually.
John show up the night before unexpected, had this great ironclad alibi, okay? This happened. He spent the night and he disappears, never comes back to Fall River anymore. Bridget Sullivan, your longtime maid, soon afterwards collected her things, left Fall River, never came back again. It all looks like, I always look to who benefited from the crime. You and your sister benefited from the crime. You both split the inheritance.
And your question?
Did you put your uncle up to doing it?
No. No. I would never do such a thing.
In this day and age, I need to tell you, Miss Borden, okay? In this day and age, there's a lot of studies that have been done on people who interrogate others, okay, and ask questions. And you're fidgeting over there as I'm asking these questions. So those are telltale signs that you could be not telling the truth and not being honest. I'm just telling you that, okay?
Well, I did take a little
it
medication again today.
Okay, so it's the medication again.
Yes.
We're going back to the medication.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I see. Let's see what some of these other questions are. Okay, so a good question came up from Dover Paratech, which kind of triggered my memory. I want to talk about the prussic acid.
That again?
Yeah. What was the gentleman's name that said that you bought the prussic acid in his store?
That Eli Benz man?
Yeah. So here's the question I have. He was at your trial to testify that you were actually there. You bought the prussic acid.
I did not buy any prussic acid.
Okay. Well, he said you did, but they didn't allow that in the trial.
He did not say that I did it. He said that I tried to, and he refused to sell it to me.
Okay. Can I ask you why you were trying to buy that?
I was not trying to buy that.
You're fidgeting again.
I did not try to buy prussic acid from that man.
Okay.
Now, he claimed that I tried to buy it from him, and he claimed that I wanted to do it for a sealskin
Why do you
coat.
think he said it was you? Why do you think he said it was you that tried to buy it? And don't say that this was after the fact and after, you showed up in the papers and all that other stuff and he came out and said that. Because the night that the crime took place, he came to your house where you're living and pointed you out and said, yes, she was the one that tried to buy it.
Yes, he did.
Why? Why would he do such a thing?
Well, from my understanding, he was provided to the police as someone who could potentially identify someone who had tried to buy poison, and they thought that perhaps I poisoned my family. Clearly they were hatcheted up or something, but no, they wanted to insist on this whole prussic acid issue. But I did not go to his store. I did not do that. When he came to see me, he said he didn't know if it was me. He said, I don't know if it was Lizzie Borden. Other people in the store told him that it was Lizzie Borden. And then they brought him to my home to identify me. And it was quite late, by the way, on a very trying day. And it was darker already. And you know that Father, he did not have electricity in the house. So all he had to look at me by when he did this was just simply a little lamp. A little oil lamp.
Okay. Well, some of the people in chat are asking questions. Back in your day, what was prussic acid actually used for?
Well, it was mainly for, for women. We would use it if we were having some illnesses with child, being with child.
We call that morning sickness.
Oh, morning sickness.
Yeah.
It was with child sickness.
So it helped for nausea.
Yes. Yes.
In small doses.
In quite small doses.
Yes.
But I had no reason to be purchasing such things.
Well, wasn't your family sick leading up to...
Yes, they were.
So you're telling me you didn't go there to kind of get this, to kind of make people not be sick?
No, and definitely not on the day that Eli Bence claimed that I did, because I was homesick all morning.
Okay, so let me ask you this question too. Back in your day, if a woman was trying to commit a murder, not saying it was you, but if a woman was trying to commit a murder, what was the number one method that they used to commit that murder?
You're trying to incriminate me,
No,
sir.
I'm asking you questions about your time frame. What was the number one thing that they used to commit the crime?
Poisons.
Poisons. Okay. Okay. I'm just asking some questions. What happens when you take too much prussic acid?
Well, of course, you die.
It's a form of poisoning, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
So I'm going to be on your side with this. And the reason why, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason why they didn't allow his testimony was because they did not find any poison in your parents' stomachs. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. So at the trial, it did come out that Dr. Wood from, Harvard, he had done some testing on my father and stepmother, their stomachs, and he found no prussic acid in there at all. None whatsoever. No poisons of any kind. And so, of course, this whole charade with Eli Bence had no bearing on my case anyways. And, as another reason why, you said, why would he think such a thing? Why would he say that? Apparently, they were having a sting around the same time. Do they still have stings today? Where the police send people into places to try to do things that are illegal?
Yes.
They were doing a sting at the time, trying to see if some of these establishments would provide poisonous materials or things without prescriptions. And apparently, one of the police officers' wives, who was part of the sting, bears quite a resemblance to me. So I believe that he did it, one, because I looked a little bit like this woman, and two, because he kind of came and saw me in the dark.
Okay.
It was mistaken identity.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this
question. But thank goodness they were keeping it from the trial.
This is a question from Dover Paratech. You were arrested.
Yes, I was.
Okay. What was the main reason why the grand jury, well, it was the judge, said that there was enough. What was the evidence that he stated there was enough that you be arrested and charged with the crime? What was the number one thing that they said?
Well, there was that whole I kept on changing my story, and that really was what they didn't like. And, of course, I was the only one home, and the stupid dress issue, and then there's that whole trying to buy poisons. They just thought that everything stacked against me, and that I should be taken away to trial.
Okay.
But I didn't do it.
Okay. Boom. Bless you.
Why, thank you. Perhaps
So-
it's a mite too dusty here for me.
Is
You
it?
might get a maid. I have a few that I know. I have a few that I might know that might need some employment.
So Hell Kitten is asking, do you think it's possible we could get some of your DNA before you go back?
My what?
Maybe a piece of hair or something like that. Can I have
You
one of
want
your
my
hairs
hair?
or something? Yeah. Before we send you back?
Why would you want my hair?
Well, nowadays,
Do you want to make a mourning piece?
no. Nowadays we could take a piece of your hair and send it off and they could test it.
Test it for what?
It's what's called DNA. And it could match that personal evidence to certain things. Like maybe the handle of a hatchet, or maybe, other things that were left at the crime scene. Would you be willing to give up a sample of your DNA before we send you back?
My hair?
Hair, or I could watch a YouTube video to see how to take a swab,
A swab?
some of your spit.
Well, as far as I am aware, they did not have any DNA, you say, evidence, or anything that was on any of those items that could be linked to me anyways. So what would be the point?
Well, you bring up a good point there, because actually they don't have the actual murder weapon anymore, or they don't know which one's which,
Well-
so how could they test it?
They did quite take several hatchets and axes from my father's home on the day of the event, and
Which if
and
they
even
were at your house, they
afterwards.
would have matched up anyway.
Exactly. And even afterwards, they came back to my home and tried to take more items out of my home later. And, during my trial, they even found a hatchet in one of the gutters, etc., on the neighbor's home. Some children found it while they were playing ball during my trial, and they still didn't even take it to the courthouse to see if it even resembled the piece of... Never mind.
Okay, well, I'll ask you a couple questions, kind of calm you back down again. Okay. Your house now, actually both houses, Maplecroft and the house on
2nd Street?
2nd Street. Yeah, well, the house on 2nd Street right now is what's called a bed and breakfast. Did you have bed and breakfast back in your time?
We did have, housing.
Okay. So that whole house is converted into a museum in honor of you.
A
Your-
museum in my honor.
Yeah, some of your books. And
People
some of your
like
stuff.
me.
I don't know about that. They're intrigued by you.
But you said in my honor.
Well, they're intrigued by you. Okay. There are those. My wife loves you. Okay, I'm just saying, but she's intrigued
Where
by your
is she,
case.
by the way?
Well, she's out tonight.
She's out tonight.
Yeah.
If
We
she
had to-
likes me so much and
we
you
had
were
to make
calling
her
me
own.
here, why would she not be here to
Well,
meet
this is
me?
a surprise to her. I'm going to tell her when she gets home. Yeah, make her feel bad for leaving. But anyways, what do you think about that house now? There's people sleeping in your bedroom. There's people sleeping in the guest room. I spent the night with my wife
You did.
in the guest room. Yeah. What do you think about that? And they're doing the same with Maplecroft now.
My home. I'm living there.
Yeah, they're making it a bed and breakfast. Now, in 2018.
Oh, this is correct. You're in a weird year.
Yeah.
Well, as far as my father's home, that's fine. I had that for quite a while, and I have thought about selling it, but I've decided for a while anyways, I'm just going to, rent it out. And so there's lots of people that come and go there as it is, so that's perfectly acceptable. I'm not using it. But Maplecroft, I'm still there. I don't think that would be wise. But you say that it is quite a long time since I was around. So, why not?
Okay, so I'm going to look at some of these other questions come in.
Okay. Well, that one looks quite long.
Which one? This one?
Yes, it's longer than all of the others.
Yeah, that is a good question. So, have you ever thought about going into the theater? Going back
no.
with Nance and them back to New York? And
I love going to the theater, but I don't think I would be a good actress.
No? You
No.
don't think you're a good actress?
No, of course not. I'm too
What do you
truthful
folks think?
for
Do you
that.
think Lizzie would make a good actress?
I'm too truthful for that.
Too truthful. Okay.
But I do adore the theater, and I love going to see all the plays, and I wouldn't mind going and visiting with Nance again. And the whole theater crew. It's so lively. It's exciting. I like it.
Tell us a little bit. Here's a question that came in. Your half brother was around the time of the crime. I could say murders. This isn't going to get monetized.
Half-brother.
Who cares?
There's no such person.
Oh, really? He doesn't exist? That was all fabrication?
Of course it's fabrication. My father would never have cheated on
Well, there was
his
reports
wife.
on around the day of the crimes that there was a strange man hanging around the home there.
There were
Do you remember
always
seeing anybody there?
There were always strange people around. It was a very busy town. It was a very busy street on the town.
So that was just kind of
Yes.
it happened.
It
What about the
happens.
break-ins at that house?
There were some break-ins, and people were blaming me.
Why?
Well, because
Why would they blame you, Miss
well,
Borden?
there were some tall tales.
More lies told about you? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. There were some tall tales that were told that perhaps maybe I would forget to pay for things once in a while at the stores.
So you're saying that never happened?
No.
What about the report that came out of Providence, Rhode Island, just recently, that you were being arrested for shoplifting? Are you saying that's a tall tale? That's not true?
I'm saying I was not a thief.
Okay.
Everyone tells all kinds of lies about me, and there's nothing to substantiate any of it. Did you ever see any documentation that I was arrested for it? No. Did you ever find that I was arrested before my father's death for such dastardly deeds? Of course not. I've done nothing wrong.
So blindly, honestly, ask the question. It's an interesting
Blindly,
question.
honestly.
Blindly, honestly. Your father. Can we talk about your father a little bit?
I love my father. Of course we can
Okay.
talk about father.
He had some, a lot of business dealings, and there's
was
been
quite
rumors.
busy.
There's been rumors that maybe somebody, he may have ticked somebody off or made somebody mad that could have broke into the house and did this. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He had people that were displeased with him quite often. He was a shrewd man, a shrewd businessman, and if he didn't think that things were going to work out, he would not, sign off on it. He didn't like renting to people who he didn't feel that their business was going to take off. And in particular, there was one gentleman just a couple weeks before the murders that this actually happened as well. Father refused to let him move into one of the buildings, and it's quite possible that anyone like that who was not happy with his decision making, that could be angry enough to kill, perhaps, definitely to break in and make it, known that we would not be safe in our own homes.
Well, the people in chat here are saying when you were talking about your shoplifting, they said you were lying.
Who said I was lying?
Well, we have several people saying. Budget Bushcraft was saying, Mystic Days, lies, 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 lies. They don't believe you.
Why does no one ever believe anything that I say? They don't believe me at the preliminary trials. They don't believe me after the trials. They still apparently don't believe me.
After this time, all these years, you don't know why they don't believe you?
Father didn't even believe me. He thought I broke into our home. And he would pay those people in town all the time when they would claim that I would not pay for my items.
Can we talk about your theory? Will you tell us who you think may have done this? Will you let us know?
No.
Was it your sister?
I shall not say anything evil about poor Emma.
Do you think she did it?
Emma wasn't even in town.
So you're not going to tell us who you think?
I shall never say until they are brought to justice. And when they are brought to justice, I'll say, see, I knew it all along.
But this could be a good opportunity to bring them to justice. You never know who's going to watch this. This is out there on what's called the internet. Anyone in the world can see this video. Anyone in the world can come in here and see you right now.
Anyone in the world?
Anybody in the world could come in here and see you, and you could tell them, you have an opportunity to tell them your thoughts. You're not going to share that with us?
No, I will share this only with my lawyers.
Okay, I have another question for you, now that you brought up your lawyers. Okay. Is it true that your father didn't have a will?
I knew of no such will.
Knew of no such will. So here's your father that has all this property and this large business and all this stuff like that. Dealt with attorneys all the time, correct?
Yes, we had a family attorney.
Family attorney? Did a lot of legal property transfers, that kind of stuff? Yet he didn't have a will?
I suppose he felt he had no need.
Really? What about the papers that were burnt? There was reports of papers being burnt.
All of these burning things.
Was it your father's will that was burnt?
I knew of no will.
You're twitching again.
I knew of no will. I do know that there were some papers that were burned on the day of the event. But I do not know what they were. I did not burn them. I did not see them. I don't know what it was.
Isn't it true that your
the
father...
good doctor said that he was just burning some things about his children.
At your house?
Yes.
So the doctor came to your house to burn his papers?
Apparently so.
Okay.
But he was spending the day helping me, so of course he was going to, be at my home, so...
There's another rumor out there that you may have had a relationship with the doctor, a romantic relationship.
That is quite silly. Just because that I would go out and be seen with him does not mean that I had he had a wife. Okay. He took me to church.
Okay.
Church.
So you and Emma got kind of upset because your father was starting to give away properties to Abby.
Yes. that woman.
Well, the first question I have, why did you not like her that much?
Because she wasn't my mother.
That's the only reason? Because she wasn't your mother?
She wasn't my mother, and she did not deserve to have her family be given things from our inheritance. Those things should have been mine and Emma's, not her family's. And when Father started to give her family all of those things, it was just ridiculous, and I took a dislike to her at that point.
Is it true that without a will, if your father would have passed away, that all of that stuff would have went to your stepmother? If she wasn't murdered as well?
Yes, I suppose that would be true.
And don't you find it kind of a coincidence that she died first? So that stuff didn't go to all of his holdings and property and stocks and stuff like that, didn't go to her family since she passed away first, and then he passed away and that stuff went to you. You see what I'm saying? These things that happen in this order.
I feel that you're insinuating
this is why
some things.
People think you did it.
I feel that you're insinuating some things, but
I'm
I
not
think it's
insinuating
just...
anything. This is historical fact. I'm not making this stuff up. I couldn't make this stuff up.
I feel that I was fortunate for my sister and
You
I.
were fortunate to the way things chronologically happened.
That is correct.
That's what you're saying.
That is correct.
Okay.
I had no influence over that, but I was fortunate.
No influence whatsoever.
But I was fortunate to have that.
What kind of influence did you have over Uncle John?
I had no influence over Uncle John. I rarely saw the man.
I know you didn't see him the day when he was there. You didn't see him till after the murders took place.
That is
although
true.
He arrived the day before.
That
Why
is
did
true.
you not come down and greet your uncle? Did you not like your uncle?
I liked my uncle well enough, but I wasn't feeling well, and then I just chose not to visit. And then I went out, and when I came back in, I saw that they were busy in the parlor.
You're twitching again.
They were busy in the parlor, and I didn't want
twitching.
to interrupt, so I just went up to my room.
Okay.
And I sleep late.
All right, folks, this is last call. If you have any more questions for Ms. Borden, please submit them to that form. The link is down in the description. If my moderators are still here, please drop the link and let's ask her some more questions. We will be wrapping this up shortly.
You'll be sending me on my way.
I have to figure out how to send you back. I only figured out how to get you here. I gotta send her back. If not, I'm spending the night with, oh, geez. I'll figure it out. Do we have any other questions for Miss Borden?
Let's see here.
There we go.
What questions have they? What's they mean by that?
Don't accept friend requests from Lizzie. You will get hacked. That is a term that we use in our day of age when somebody breaks into your accounts. They hack them.
So when someone breaks into your home, they're hacking.
If they get around your security system, that would be a form of hacking.
You
yes.
mean like if they broke into my father's
Well,
desk and stole things?
We have something here in this house, okay, that would have benefited you guys back then. I could push a button and all the windows and the doors and everything have a sensor on it. So if somebody opens it up, an alarm goes off and it calls the police department and they're here. It's an alarm system.
Father would have adored that.
Yeah.
You know he locked the doors all the time.
I know that very well. All right.
40.
I can't see that one.
That's number 33.
Did I ask you that one? Let's look at the other side of the coin. What if Lizzie didn't do this? It's not enough evidence. How would this affect her? Okay. So we do have another question here from
It's quite
Dover
lengthy.
Parathek. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, I had to click a link to see the rest of it. All right, so we're gonna take the standpoint that you didn't do it. Okay, you're saying
Oh,
you didn't do it.
finally.
Yeah, we're gonna take that standpoint. Okay. How has it really affected your life? And we talked about it a little bit in the beginning here. But how has it affected your life? Like, you can't be involved with the church anymore. Now you don't have a relationship with Emma. I mean, I have a question. This is a great question. Why did you stay in Fall River? Why did you stay there with everybody mocking you, and you can't go out during the day, and you got to go out at night, and all that? Why did you stay there? You had enough money, you could move anywhere you want. Why did you stay there?
Well, I want to be able to hold my head high, and I'll just prove it one day. And I want to be there in Fall River when this person who did this comes to justice, and so I could walk down the streets and look everyone in the eye and show them how wrong they really were.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to live in Fall River. I love Fall River. I just wanted to live on the hill. And now I can live on the hill. I have my home on French Street now, my Maplecroft, and I'm quite pleased to be there. I'm happy there.
Okay. So you don't care about the mocking and everything and the kids? And
No, how would it
all that
look
stuff?
if I went away? They would think I was running away and that
They
I
may
was
forget
guilty.
They may have forgot about you if you would have just left away. And maybe they would have left you alone and kept dredging it up and all that stuff. Because, you stayed there. That took place, and that was a stigma on that town, so to speak.
That is interesting. That is an interesting thought. I had thought of it as if I left, it would be like I was running away. But I'm not. Because I am innocent.
All right, guys, out there in chat, I just have a thing pop up. You guys still hear me okay? See me okay? Miss Lizzie, would you mind hitting that button up there? I can't reach it.
This button?
Yes, please.
But of course, sir. Although it wasn't much like a button. Oh, I do see that Dover person says that running would have been a sign of guilt. You see, I was right in staying in Fall River.
Yeah, everything's okay? All right, we lost it over there, but okay. All right, thank you, YouTube. All right, it says we're still live, but I lost the questions. Okay, so here's another question from Blindly Honestly. Okay, is it true that you had a man suitor that your father didn't like?
Well, I had some individuals that did seem to be interested. But Father, he definitely was not one to try to push us into marriage.
No.
No.
Why is that?
I don't know. It wasn't necessary. I didn't ever feel that it was necessary for me to marry. Emma might have liked to. I think she would have been better if she would have been married. But we were so close, it was nice having her around. But no, I wouldn't say Father didn't really approve. But he wasn't all interested in making us go and be married.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining us.
You're quite welcome. Some of your questions and your
they had to
calling
be-
card questions.
They had to be
they were
answered because there's all these
little.
questions and stigmas and all these books and movies and documentaries and papers and all this stuff. People put out fake stuff and people put out true stuff, and people have been studying this case for a long time. And I thought we needed to bring you on and ask you these questions. We didn't really get anywhere, but I thought it would be nice to kind of like, bring you on.
I told you many things.
See your point of view.
I told you many things, good sir.
All right, folks.
For example, did I mention, if I had done this, would I go visit my father at his gravesite all the time?
Are you asking me questions now?
Yes, I am.
I don't know why you do that. I don't know why.
It's because I love him so.
Is that why you didn't leave Fall River, so you can go down there and visit him whenever you wanted to?
I hadn't thought of that, but it is helpful. I do go and visit Father quite often. They even shoveled a little path for me so that I can go when it's snowing out.
That's kind of creepy, actually, but
why is that creepy?
I'm just saying, it's a little strange. But so people in chat are thanking you for coming.
Well, you are quite welcome, little white light.
All right, folks. Hey, thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming and asking questions of Lizzie.
I'm surprised you didn't ask me certain questions that I thought for sure you would.
Well, I was rushing around getting ready. Are these the ones that I should have asked?
Well, I'm just surprised because usually
Okay.
people talk to me about those things.
We got a couple more that I kind of forgot to ask. Okay. Okay, here's a good question. During the funeral of your father and stepmother, I said it correctly.
Yes, thank you for that.
Okay. During the funeral, why did you not get out of the carriage? Why did you stay in the carriage during the funeral?
Well, the funeral itself was at my home, and so I attended. But when we went to the gravesite, it was improper. We just didn't do those kinds of things. You would go, and the ladies would never get out of their carriages.
It's your father.
But
Why
ladies
wouldn't you go over and
Ladies
pay
do
respect?
not get out of the carriage. It is quite unthought.
Okay, I'm glad I asked that question.
We are not supposed to do things that people think that we can't handle it. Quite interesting, though, because, we can handle quite a bit more than you guys give us credit for.
Okay, well, you can handle quite a bit more?
I
here's another question for you.
Yes.
How did you feel that during the trial,
Terrible. It was a horrible experience.
when they brought out the skulls of your father and your
oh,
stepmother? Can you explain that? What was your feeling at that time? How did you feel about that?
I had no idea that they even did such a thing. They took my father's skull. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I nearly fainted. It was horrible. I can't believe that they would do such a thing. And then for me to have to beg to have it returned to me so that it could be buried with my father should never have happened. It should never have happened. And when did they decide to do such a thing? Certainly when I left my home with my father on that fateful day of going to the cemetery. He had his head. And then suddenly he didn't have his head anymore. It was showing up in my trial. Just brought it out, wrapped up like it was a gift to someone.
All right, folks, on that note, that's a good one to end on. All right, thank you guys for joining us, coming over and having some interesting conversation with Lizzie Borden. Miss Borden, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Would you like to say thank you to that little white light up there?
Thank you, little white light. It is very nice to have met you. And thank you for bringing all the little calling cards with you when you came.
So we are going live again. We, not Lizzie, but my wife and I, Panic D Videos, will be going live again Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Do you go dead sometimes?
Yeah, we go dead sometimes. But we will be live Saturday at 5 o'clock. If if you guys would like to join in, we're going to be doing some trivia about you.
Trivia about me.
Yes, we are. We're going to do some Elizabeth Borden. Elizabeth Borden trivia. But we call you Lizzie. Is that okay?
Well, most
It's
people
alright.
know me as Lizzie, but I tried to get away from all of that and changed my name. Lisbeth is my preferred now.
That's
But
your
you
preferred.
can call me Miss Borden.
Okay. But you're not going to come back and haunt me if I call you Lizzie, are you?
Haunt? No.
All right, folks. Hey, thanks for joining us. Sorry I wasn't too watching the chat that much. I kept looking over and I was trying to, but hey,
But what? You were trying to make sure I didn't kill you?
pretty much. All right, folks. Till next time. Oh, you're not here to say that. Okay, when
What?
I say till next time, I want
Yes.
you to say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
After I say till next time.
Till-
then you
thanks
say
for watching.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
Up there to the white light.
To the white
Ready?
light.
Here we go. Until next time,
Thanks for watching.
and happy hunting.
If you'd like to see more videos from Panic D Videos in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that bell for notifications. Also, help support the channel by sharing this video with your friends and family and anyone else who might be interested in the paranormal. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.